Hi everybody, this is April Mason, your favorite feminine lifestyle strategist, and I have some nuggets to drop on you tonight. Y'all are so funny. Here y'all come, y'all coming. I guess there's a video that's circulating around, and y'all, if I don't say anything else about my followers, I love you all. Y'all will tag the fool out of me on things that you want my opinion on or want to know my thoughts on. So the thing that y'all done woke me out with today is a video with a man asking what women bring to the table. And many women were upset about what he had to say. I don't remember his name, but it was a gentleman on the video saying that, you know, it was like a panel, and it was women on the panel and it was men, and the women were saying they make the house a home, but the man was saying all of the other stuff. And so y'all tagged the fool out of Miss April today, and I was getting ready to go to bed. I said, but nope, I'm gonna give the people what they want. And it was time for me to talk about this anyway. I will preference it with this. A lot of ladies probably will not like what I have to say. Just like the video I did in 2016, similar to this, that went viral, and y'all was on World Star Hip Hop. I was on World Star Hip Hop about that video. So, yeah, so understand, let me give this disclaimer. I said, what does a feminine, when I say feminine, heavy on the feminine woman, bring to the table for a high value man? Number two, a high value man and a high earning man are two different things. I'm not here to discuss that right now, but they are two different things and they are not synonymous, all right? I'm strictly here to talk about what a woman a feminine woman, not just a woman, but what a feminine woman brings to a high value masculine man's life, okay? When y'all start but they don't, I'm not talking about them. They don't fit into the category, all right? So understand, I'm talking strictly about a woman who lives her lifestyle operating in the feminine. What does she bring to a high value masculine man's life? Okay? Do we have that? Once again, let me say it again because I know that y'all gonna come with it. This video is strictly about what a feminine woman, a woman who lives in the feminine as her default in her day-to-day, what she brings to a high value masculine man's life. We're not talking about what y'all call dusties. We're not talking about males. We're not talking about basic thinking women. That's not what we're talking about, okay? This is a different conversation. So it might go over some of y'all's heads because this is something that we don't really talk about. So, first order of business. A high value masculine man never asks a feminine woman what she brings to the table. He might ask a woman what she brings to the table that is, you know, attempting to maybe get with him or something like that. But a feminine woman, a woman that operates in the feminine, is never asked what she brings to the table. Why is that? Because a high value masculine man would have already watched her life and assessed what she's already doing in her life and how she lives it, how it could be an asset to his life. So once again, this is talking about a feminine woman and a high value masculine man. So a feminine woman is never asked, a truly divine feminine woman is never asked what she brings to the table. That is the first order of business. Now, a woman that does not operate in the feminine as a lifestyle will be asked that question because it's unclear, okay? With a feminine woman, it's very clear to a high value masculine man what she brings, okay? Secondly, feminine women do not define themselves by their accomplishments, by their domestic abilities. You know, they can cook and clean. They don't define themselves by those things, all right? So when a man, you know, when a woman is asked what she brings to the table, she normally, you know, goes to, I can cook, I can clean, I can make the house a home, I can you know, the sex, all of those things. I can take care of myself. I can pay the car note too. I can take care of bills too. Well, a feminine woman never says those things. We just don't live in that because we don't have to. All right. So those are regular answers. All right. This is why I teach what I teach about becoming and being what a woman actually is. Okay. And it's not about what we can do, it's more of what we can be. Now, there are certain things, since we are talking about what that type of woman brings to that particular type of man. Understands there's levels to this, baby. There's levels to it. So I'm talking about a specific level of man and woman. So now that I got that out of the way, I have a list of things that a feminine woman brings to a high value masculine man's life. Number one, you know, she is the yin to his yang, meaning she's the feminine to his masculine. All right. That's what she is off the rip. And because so many women don't operate in the feminine, they wonder why they keep butting heads with that. Somebody said, what if he's not a high value masculine man? We're not talking about them. Pay attention. We're not talking about them. This is what we're talking about. This particular type of man with this particular type of woman. If you're dealing with something else, that's just what you choose to deal with. But feminine women, we don't deal with that. So I'm trying to help you get to that next place and stop trying to figure out how to make these raggedy dudes not be raggedy and how to deal with them. I don't teach you how to deal with them. I teach you how to become a better woman and evolve so you don't even have these basic level conversation. Okay. So number one, she is the yin to his yang, which means she's the feminine to his masculinity off the rip. Okay. She's a self-made woman, meaning a woman who wants for nothing gets everything. Let me say that again. A woman who wants for nothing gets everything. She has her own life. She has her own adventures and passion that she does on her own that is very alluring to him. Okay? She amplifies what he already has. All right? Meaning she doesn't go in looking for a purse, some shoes, a vacation, a new car, right? She looks at what this high value masculine man already has and she amplifies it. Because what does that do? A woman that comes in that can amplify what a man has, he will give her everything, especially if he is a legacy driven type of man. He is a man that's all about expanding. He's a man that is all about growing and evolving. A feminine woman comes into his life, sees what he's lacking, and she amplifies everything that is around. She brings companionship. She brings that confidant. She's that confidant. She stimulates him in a way that makes him want to protect and provide for her. Because when you're actually in the feminine energy automatically comes, when it comes to a masculine man, it's his basic instinct to protect and to provide for that type of woman. A lot of you say, these men don't want to protect and provide. That's because you are in the masculine. So you are coming to the table with what you can bring as far as monetary things, but not what you can be as a woman. In this video that you guys kept sending me, the guy said, everything the woman said, he said, I can hire somebody for that. And I hit the floor. That was the main thing that made me do this video tonight. Because my ex, we dated years ago, and I ran into him a couple of years ago, and we ran into each other in the store. And he was like, man, you know, I got married and this, and she was like, but she don't understand me. You know, I'm an artist, I'm this, I'm that. And I said, well, why did you marry her? And I'm listening. And my response to him was, I said, oh, darling, I see what happened here. He said, what's that? I said, you married a woman that you can hire somebody to replace what she does for you. She can cook, you can hire a cook. She can clean, you can hire somebody to clean. You know, you have sex, you can hire somebody to have sex, with you. You can hire an accountant. I said, but she didn't understand the essence and the soul of who you are as a man. So she could not feed or nurture you based upon who you are at your core. So you hired somebody, you married somebody that you can hire her to replace them to replace what she does for you. And so a lot of times when women are talking about what they bring to the table, these are things that can be replaced with a black card, with a debit card, hell, with a prepaid Chase card that he didn't put money on. So that does not make you valuable to a high value man who knows how to produce, who knows how to bring money into the home, who knows how to provide. That doesn't do it for him. All right. So I want to make sure I got that to you. A feminine woman is the stroke to his ego, and she has no problem being that. Some women will say, well, why we got to stroke a man's ego? Hell, why not? Stroking the ego keep you from working 12-hour days, honey. Stroking the ego, baby, will keep you from doing all of this hard labor that you're doing. Stroking an ego will keep you in a position of not having to break your back all the time trying to do it all by yourself. Stroking the ego, it doesn't cost you anything. Okay? Another thing a feminine woman brings to a high value masculine man's life is her energy, her presence. Her presence brings him peace. When he's going through things, he can't wait to get back into connecting to where she is. It's nothing that she says. It's nothing that she's doing. It's who she's being. Okay? It's who he's being. I hear the women saying, but women can hire men too. Yeah, only basic thinking women say that. I'm going over y'all head. Yeah, you can. That's because you're not attracting a high value masculine man. So if you want to hire somebody to do all of these things, that's fine. Because just like I said, he can hire somebody to do basic woman stuff. You can hire a man to do basic man stuff. That's basic. So go hire him. But that's basic woman thinking. The next is, she is his support system, his mental and emotional support system. Ladies, understand, the suicide rate skyrockets all the time. And guess who is at the top? Men. Because they don't have that outlet. She becomes that safe place for him to lay his head in her lap and be that confidant. She knows how to listen to him versus always having something to say, or a rebuttal. Or she's not always disagreeable, listening to him, waiting to find something to be disagreeable about. Okay? Doesn't mean she's a doormat. But what it does mean is she knows when to challenge him and say, honey, you know what? I hear what you're saying, but babe, I'm going to need you to bring it, make it a little plainer to me, honey. Break it down to me like I'm in the third grade, because what you're saying right now, sweetie, it's really not connecting. So make it make sense to mama. She knows when it's time to do that, and then she knows when it's time to just listen. Okay? She is seductive. She is very, very seductive, right? Because she is what? His pleasure. She is pleasurable because she has pleasure in her own life. Things that I'm telling you tonight aren't things that you just do because you have a man. No, you bring pleasure into your own life every single day. Okay, she's the pleasure. She can be his vixen. She can be his sex kitten. She can be that temptress. Okay, so not only can she be those things, she can also be the woman that he comes to when he wants to strategize, when he doesn't know the answer, when he's getting ready to go into that big meeting, and he's like, "Babe, I'm not feeling this." And she looks at it and says, "Honey, wait a minute. You done stayed up all night to make this thing work. You got this. This is why this plan will work." She is his biggest supporter. Okay. She's kind, very kind. That's one of the things that we're missing is kindness. She's his muse. Okay. She's his inspiration and motivation. Okay. She's his companionship. She inspires him to dominate and run it. Babe, you got this. All right. She is a woman who is very, very desirable. She keeps herself up. She looks good. She smells good. She allows him to be Clark Kent when the world has beat him up by being Superman all the time. Once again, we have over 1,000 people in here. I'm talking about what a feminine woman brings to the table to a high value masculine man. As you notice, I mentioned nothing about money. I mentioned nothing about degrees. I mentioned nothing about I buy my own house. I buy my own car. They don't care about that. And for those of you who say, but what about the men that do? I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about a different caliber of man. So when you ask yourself as a woman, what do I bring to a man's life? Stop listing accomplishments. Stop listing I can cook and I can clean. These things that I'm listing requires you to go within you as a woman. What hobbies do you have? Would you want to be a part of your own life? Or do you go to church, school, and home and take care of the kids all the time? Is your life boring? Are you intriguing? Are you mysterious? The woman who appeals to a man's imagination is the woman that gets him. Are you appealing to that man's imagination, or do you not have anything going on in your life that is not interesting? So when we start talking about the feminine woman and the high value masculine man, no, we don't have to go to work. No, we don't have to do labor. No, we don't have to try to prove that we can do it. No, we don't even have to have a lot of money of our own. But what we do have to have and be is a woman who knows what it means to be a woman. And that's the art that we have lost. Because when you ask most women, who are they? They tell you what they do. They tell you what they've accomplished. No. High value masculine men don't care about that because they already have the money. They already, high value men who are also high earners. Because like I said, they're not synonymous. But in this case, I'm making them synonymous. Those that have both, they don't care about how much money you make. They don't care about your car and what, and where you live in and that. How do you make him feel with your presence? I remember years ago, I was dating someone and I remember he was going through stuff and he knocked at my door. And when I opened the door, he was like, I'm just good to see you. Just seeing you makes me feel better. What did I do? Honey, come on in here. What's going on? And he didn't want to talk. I said, we don't have to talk. And we just sat. And I let him lay his head on my lap and we just watched television. That was it. The next day, he was like, all right, babe, I figured it out. This is what I'm going to do. I said, I knew you would. You just need to come get some of this mama energy is what you needed. And that was it. But women are overdoing, overdoing, overgiving, overextending themselves when all you really have to be is a woman. That's it. So when you are asked, what do you bring to the table? It's an indicator that the man asking you is number one, he's not a high value masculine man, or number two, just being who you are does not show a man the value that he brings to his life. When a man sees you and how you operate, he should be able to see, dang, she brings all of this to my life. I can see if I connect with her. Because I see how she moves in her own life. I see, yes, she's running her businesses. She's doing what she does in her career. She is a woman, that has her business and things in order. But she also has a pleasurable life. She also has a lot of passion and sensuality in her. She's also very spiritual. She also operates in that feminine energy that makes me weak. The feminine energy is the kryptonite to a masculine man. But if you're not bringing him to his knees with your femininity, it just means that you are not operating in it. That's really what it is. So ask yourself as a woman, do I define who I am as a woman by what I've accomplished or who I am? Fellas, I need to hear you in the comment section. Let me know if I'm hitting on some things. Let me know. Because once again, whether a man is a high value man and a lower earner, or a high value man that's a higher earner and can take care of everything, he ain't looking for he don't need your money. He don't need you to cook and clean necessarily for him in that manner. He's looking for something that money cannot buy. What do you bring to a man's life that money cannot buy? That does not require you to put on an apron? What else do you bring? Feminine women bring, I said this before, but it's the softness and it's the desire. She brings that. She's very spontaneous, you know. She's happy. She's very youthful. She like Peter Pan, you know. And she's just fluid, right? She's that flow like the water is what she is. She is his peace. She brings a peaceful place. Fellas, let me know if I'm saying something. So even a man that's making $1,000 a year can still be a high value man and still require these things, because guess what's going to happen? He come in contact with a truly divine feminine woman. His stock going to go up. Who he is, what he's accomplishing, it's going to go up. And guess what he's going to do? A high value masculine man that understands the value of a woman, he's going to give you everything. I read a quote from a soccer player. He said, having a good woman in your life is like printing your own money. But see, this has nothing to do with what you can physically do. It has everything to do with who you're being. Okay? Fellas, let me know. Let me know. So, ladies, stop identifying what you bring to the table by your domestic abilities, because he can hire someone for that. He doesn't need you for your money, your degree. Those are added bonuses. Don't get it twisted. Nothing wrong with being successful. I'm a successful business owner of several companies. I got my ish together. However, I don't lead with that. Those aren't the qualities that a man comes to me for. Not at all. They come to me for that inspiration. They come to me for, babe, you know, I was thinking you'd be amazing if you wrote this book. I think the world needs to hear what you have to say on this subject. What say you? I don't talk to men in the same way that I talk to my girlfriends. I understand man lingo because I took the time to learn them and how what works for them. You can't keep giving a cat dog food and wonder why it's not taking it. So ask yourself, if I'm constantly getting the more beta men, the men that always want me to pay for stuff and they're not stepping up to protect and provide for me, am I operating in the feminine? Because the feminine energy automatically, without ever having to open your mouth, that ignites the basic instinct in a masculine man, period. It just does it without you having to say, why don't you do this? Why don't you do it? Men will just come to your rescue on a regular basis when they feel that feminine energy, because your energy precedes you. So when women see other women getting taken care of by men, getting adored by men, and they're upset about that, don't hate. Just become a feminine woman. Y'all want to work, and I'll sit back and watch you. Y'all want to break your backs, and I'll sit back and watch you, because everything I've listed on this list, it takes you getting out of your own way and being kind and giving to someone else versus going to see what you can get. It's all about what you can give, but that means you have to choose better men to give all of these things to. But Miss April, you don't know these men. No, I don't, but I don't choose them either. You're responsible for who you choose. You're not responsible for who you attract, but you are responsible for who you entertain. So if you keep entertaining men that require you to do all of these things and asking you how much money you make, what you bring to the table and all of those things, that's comfortable for you. So until you get uncomfortable and change your way of thinking and valuing yourself the way you want a man to value you, you're going to constantly get that. But women, those of us that operate in the feminine energy, we don't have to do those same things. We just don't. Because we speak to the basic biological instinct of a man. And that is the feminine energy. So was he wrong for saying, what can you bring that I can't buy? In my opinion, no. Because I told my ex, you married someone that you can hire somebody to replace what she does. So ladies, don't no longer answer that question or even view yourself as these are the list of monetary or accomplishments that I bring to the table. High value masculine men don't give a damn about that. It's like, okay, that's cool. You know, it's wonderful that you got that done. You know, I mean, I pat you on the back, but how does that help me? How does that help me feel like Superman on the days that I feel like Clark Kent? How does that help me as a man out in this world going to protect and provide, come to a place where the energy is peaceful, where you looking good, you smelling good, you know, you are doing things for yourself and taking care of yourself as a woman, that when you make you happy, I'm just here to add to your happiness. I am not your happy. Okay? Carla said, did y'all hear that? I'm trying to told you. Feminine women do not have to do the same things other women have to do. We have men that are vying for our attention, and they don't even realize they be vying for it. I remember a friend of mine told me the other day, he said, I'll never forget that when we met, we were doing an event together. We weren't friends then. And I remember sitting there on the stage, and I had to look, y'all know I'm the off-the-shoulder queen, and I had the off-the-shoulder on, and I said, oh, I am so cold. And he was like, you're cold? I said, yes, cold. And then the next thing I know, he brought me some tea. And we talked about it the other day. He said, I'll never forget. It was something in me as a masculine, that masculinity in me saw that kind of, not necessarily damsel in distress, but a woman that was open to receive and a woman that was in need. And I just went to the store without even thinking about it. I went across the street to the Starbucks and got you something to drink. He said, how did you get me to do that? I said, I didn't do anything. It was just the presence of a feminine woman. That's why I say, lady, femininity is a lifestyle. I don't teach it from the standpoint of, doing it, taking it on and off. Okay? I don't do it that way. I live in it. You have to live in this, and you can only do that by getting in tune with you. So that's all I have for you ladies today. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I answered the question. Thank y'all for tagging me in the video, because y'all have my DMs on fire. And I'm normally not in my DMs like that, but I kept getting these dings. I said, let me see what the man is talking about. And I agree. The women on the platform is talking about, I make a house a home, but how, sis? How do you make a house a home? Those are easy answers. Those are generic answers. Oh, and her answers were, I decorate the house, with the furniture. But he will say it once again, I can hire somebody to do that. See, you got to go deeper. It's all about how you make a man feel when he's in your presence. Okay? It's not about, yeah, I can decorate the house. Yeah, I can do. Those things they're appreciated. But those aren't the things that a high value man that's not really what he's asking you. He's asking you to go deeper. All I heard when I saw that was he's asking these women a question that they don't understand. Because he's right. Everything you're listing are things that you value as a woman, but I can pay somebody to do them. Give me something that money cannot buy. And that is when that feminine energy connects with his masculine energy and it comes together, baby, there's nothing like it. So that's all I have for you ladies and gentlemen tonight. I hope you got some value out of this. I hope it made sense. Fellas, let me know in the comments if I'm on point with it. And once again, high value man and a high earning man are two different things and are not synonymous. Because you can be a high value man making $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year, period. And you can be a man that's a straight butthole making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $600,000 a year. So they're not synonymous. And a lot of you fellas think because you're making six figures that makes you high value. No, that makes you a high earner. Because if you're not doing the spiritual work, the inner work, the broken work, that the daddy issues, the mommy issues, if you're not doing the integrity work, the character work, that doesn't make you high value. That just means you're a man that's walking around that probably looks good, smell good, drive nice, and live nice, but he has no substance. All right. Good night.